Hi, it's that time of the year again. 2012 is quickly approaching. I don't know where the year has gone, and I'm sure you're feeling the same. So I really want you to do yourself a favor and commit to holding yourself and your business to a higher standard. And this is a tool that's going to help you on your path. So what this tool is going to do for you is it's going to do three things. First, it's going to help you to be more focused, because you may be committed, but is your focus on your commitment? You've got a lot of other things that come in and distract you from day to day as you're working in your business. And this is, as I've spoken about in some of my video series, this is about working on your business. This is focusing on the outcomes and not the tasks. Anthony Robbins talks about energy flows where focus goes. And that's absolutely true. So you really want to focus on your areas of commitment and on the outcomes that you want to achieve. And isn't that, at the end of the day, isn't that the most important thing? It's the outcomes that we want to achieve. It's the feelings, it's the results that we want to get, which is why we do all these tasks. And having a huge task list, which I'm sure many of you have as I do, a task list longer than your arm, longer than you to actually be able to accomplish. So if you chunk those things up and you group them into a result, you provide yourself with a lot more flexibility in order to be able to achieve your result and still feel good at the end of the day and not feel that you've got 100 tasks still left to do. The second thing is reflection. And I just mentioned it before that, at the end of the year, it tends to be a time where people reflect back on the year, what went well, what didn't go well, and do their planning for the following year. And all too often, actually, reflection doesn't take place at all. And if it does take place at the end of the year, that's the only time that it takes place. And that's a shame, because reflection is a really important process and part of growth. What do I mean by that? Why is reflection so important? Well, it's so important because if we don't reflect, then on our actions and activities, then we're really losing the ability to really grow, to really learn from what does this mean exactly from this result? Whether it's a positive or a negative result, what does this mean? What can I continue doing? What aspects of this worked well? What aspects of this didn't work well? I know that I worked for a company and I was responsible for all the strategic projects. And all too often, there's just not time. People don't want to take the time to reflect over that project to see what went well, what didn't go well. And so you can really learn from both of those aspects and then integrate it into your process and into your procedures for going forward so that you can grow as a business, so that you can grow as a person. This is the same thing with your personal experiences. Reflection is really key. And something that the third area which supports reflection is tracking. Keith Cunningham talks about the fact that you can't really manage something that you don't measure. And that's absolutely true. It's key to reflection because a lot of times the way that our system works, if you want to call it, is that we can actually take in 2 million bits of information per second. That's a ton, and that's what's going into the back of our head. But we can only process 165 bits per second. And so what that means is that things get filtered, deleted, distorted, and generalized. And that's what's stored in our memory, is those deletions, distortions, and generalizations. And so therefore, if we don't track it to really show how things have progressed or what's been happening, we may remember something a little bit different. I mean, how is it that you can have two kids that are in the same family, and when they recall a certain event, they recall something completely different? And that's because that's the way that they processed it and what they deleted, distorted, and generalized. And I can get more into that in my video series. But really what's important is that you take the time to track what your activities, what your outcomes and results are so that you can really learn from it and integrate and grow. Please sign up and get your journal. And I'll also throw in another free gift there, which is it'll put you into a mailing just for this journal, which will enable in 30 days, it'll kind of send you some reminders along the way to make sure that you're doing it. And in 30 days, there's a follow-up program, follow-up reflection, so that you can actually, as you're tracking it, then there's a more formal reflection process that you can go through. So I hope this is going to give you a great start to 2012. It's already one habit that you can put into place to doing this for the first month and see how much more focused and how much more you achieve in the month. Do yourself a favor. Start the year out right and then continue it ongoing from there. So Happy New Year, happy holidays, and I look forward to being in touch with you in the new year. Take care.